Hello, I am Matt Murphy, Global Chief Creative Officer of 72 and Sunny. And today I am welcoming you to the Sunnyside series coming to you live from Stagwell Sport Beach, where we are celebrating the intersection of all things sport, fandom, culture. I am joined by Alison Weissbrot, editor of Adweek, executive editor of Adweek.
Hi.
Welcome, Alison.
Thank you.
Thanks for making time for us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, you're known for being the one in charge of the interviews, which is,
Yes.
You know, you're great at it. But today we figured we'd flip the script, and I'm actually going to ask you some questions.
Great.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Permission granted. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with an easy one. You're at Sport Beach. Mm-hmm. There's lots of clapping. There's lots of sports athletes. Everyone's around. What brings you to Sport Beach, and what are you excited about?
Well, I love Sport Beach. Since it started, I feel like you guys have just the best collection of athletes and programming at the intersection of sports, entertainment, advertising. So, you know, trying to just see some people that I know, catch a celeb or two, and just learn something.
Ooh, is there a hot ticket athlete or celeb that's on your mind?
I'm not the biggest sports fan. I don't know if I should say that.
Oh, snap.
But last year I did cancel about 3 meetings to see Travis Kelce. So maybe I'll do that again this year.
Ooh, I heard there may be another celeb just next door to us going on by the name of Josh Duhamel. Does that ring a bell?
Yes. Rom-com of the early 2000s. Star.
This is the place to be. Lots going on in the industry right now.
Yeah.
What lights you up? Are there topics and trends that you're chasing down as you're here this week?
Yeah, I kind of want to learn more about the big picture changes happening in the industry. So there's a lot of consolidation going on in the agency space. There's a lot of independence coming up as that happens. So I'm kind of interested to see like how are the power dynamics shifting? What's going to happen? What's the space going to look like at the end of the year? So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
It is kind of crazy.
Yes.
Do you have, is there something you'd like to see happen? Is there a little spirit inside of you that's rooting for an outcome?
I would like to see like just agencies be successful and good places for people to work. I think that, you know, it's become kind of difficult for talent in some ways. The industry is changing so much with AI, and it's really difficult to get an entry-level job. And so I think just finding new ways to like bring talent up and train them in the right way and make them want to work in this industry is something I hope happens.
That's amazing. I actually love that. I think we can lose sight of we're in the people business. I believe we're in the people business.
Yeah.
We just happen to work with brands and respectfully offer up compelling ways to you know, say why we're meaningful, you know, whether it's a service or a sport or an entity, but we can't lose perspective on people drive the interactions here.
Yeah, for sure.
You've interviewed some of the most amazing leaders of this industry, you know, across your whole tenure and especially at Adweek. What's the common denominator between people that you look for as like great interviewers?
I think people who are, you know, obviously like I write about business, so people who are doing really interesting, innovative, compelling things, leading big companies in interesting ways. But I also like talking to creatives because they have just like really fun, great personalities, kind of quirky. So I find that like that mix of business and personality really interesting.
Oh my God, you're saying business can have personality?
Well, for some people.
You're saying business can be quirky? You're saying there's fun to be had in the sport of advertising?
I mean, look where we are. This is kind of fun, right?
Okay, I love that. All right, so I'm going to do a follow-up question. What lights you up personally as a journalist and / editor?
Yeah. Well, as an editor, I think it's like helping my reporters write really great stories and just kind of like coaching them to get there and seeing them being able to pull off something that they didn't maybe know that they could do. Love doing that. As a reporter, I mean, there's always like the adrenaline of like breaking a big scoop and, you know, beating your competitors. Like that's always really fun. But I think it's also just finding those just interesting stories that no one's talking about that get people, when you know people are talking about your stories, I think that's really exciting.
All right, I'm gonna go after. You can answer this or you can deflect it. Your choice.
Okay.
Because I love that answer. The interesting story, finding the fun in it, like about the people. I would say 72 and Sunny is often in the press. We're having a good year. Is there a type of story that would excite you about 72 and Sunny? And if so, what would it be?
Well, we always want to know, like, who are the clients you're winning? Who are the big, exciting people you're hiring? But I think, like, with 72 and Sunny and agencies in general, I think there's so much that everyone's trying to figure out about, not to be cliche, but, like, how is AI going to change the way the entire business operates? So if there's, like, specific examples of how you're using it in productive ways that could help other agencies learn, then I think that would be cool.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Let's talk about fandom a little bit. I know you said you're not a sports fan. In a safe space here, I know no one on the internet is watching this. I'm a semi-sports fan, so I think you and I got it. Fandom is a big word.
Yeah.
It's a buzzword. What does fandom mean to you when you think about writing articles?
I think like the idea of fandom, I think, has changed a lot with social media because you can kind of be immersed in it all the time and like find people all over the world who share that interest with you. So fandom has just become more like intense, I think, and more of people's identities. And I think that for brands, that means that being able to tap into those fandoms and those people who are kind of like emblematic of those fandoms is even more important than ever.
I just want to point out to our viewers at home, during your answer, an announcer just went on and blasting the whole thing. Like, we're literally in a sports stadium. Sports Beach is on fire right now.
It is.
So we're hearing the beginning of fandom in real time here. Is there a brand or an athlete or a creator who is using fandom in the best way possible, in your opinion?
So I actually saw Alison Felix speak on a panel yesterday, and I think that she's just so inspiring. Like what she did back in 2019 when she wrote an op-ed about her experience with Nike and how they wouldn't like pay her or give her maternity protections when she decided to get pregnant. She's like turned that into her whole brand and now has like multiple businesses about supporting female athletes and getting them just like the equity that they deserve. So yeah, I would say she's super inspiring.
Amazing. So as a semi and non-sports fans, agreed. What's your favorite sound?
Sound?
Is there a favorite sound that you like to hear that just makes you smile?
Taylor Swift.
I love that you answered with a person. So Taylor Swift is now a sound.
Her music is a sound.
Her music is a sound. It's a vibe. It's also a big business.
Yes, indeed.
Is there a sound that you don't like?
Anything really loud or high pitched that's gonna hurt my ears.
It's funny. It's not a trick question, but it's just always interesting to get like the honest answer.
There's another sound I like that I just thought of.
Go for it.
Just like the noises my cat makes.
Ooh.
They're so cute.
Like what?
You want me to meow?
Yep. No two cats are the same.
I like when he has like his zoomies and he does this like deep throated like growl and he's just running around and I'm like, oh, he either just had a big poop or I don't know what, but he's going crazy.
Like a growl?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
All right.
I love that
See
noise.
what I mean? It's just like you just loosen up and there it is. There's the answer. I love sort of pulling from my heroes. James Lipton. What's your favorite curse word?
Probably fuck. I say it all the time.
Easy.
I have a potty mouth, so
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 4 letter. I mean, it's just sharp. It's poetic.
Yeah. And it's like, it cuts to the chase.
And I love you didn't even think about it. You're just like, there's the answer.
It just came right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not a religious question, so just know that going in.
Okay.
If heaven did exist and you were to meet Jesus at the pearly gates, what would you like him to say to you?
Oh my gosh, that is existential.
Totally.
Just like, you did a great job in your life. You were a good person, and you had an impact on people. And good job. And now you get to enjoy heaven.
Please come on in.
Come on.
Welcome
let's go.
to Sport Beach.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's really. I feel like I'm hearing a clear common denominator of humanity at its best.
Thank you.
I
try to be like a person,
which I love. Are there any questions you have for me in wrapping this up?
What is your favorite part about this whole crazy week?
It's going to sound it's going to effortlessly flow in. It's the people.
Yeah.
To me, Sport Beach is about collisions, brands meeting people, brands meeting people, athletes meeting brands. And when you're not gatekept and everything isn't just about a transaction, it's about an opportunity or a relationship or a conversation or an idea, you have no idea what the outcome could be. And I watch it play out, and Noah Lyle was on stage. It's really interesting that athletes are the new creatives, and you could be the world's fastest human or world's fastest runner, and then to be like, but I want to start a production company. Here's why. I believe storytelling. I believe there's stories that haven't been told. So everyone's sitting on something from a hustler culture. Everyone's sitting on something that is very exciting to report about. And that, to me, is the modern state of the industry as it keeps growing. And so even when I think about my peers just going around the Croisette and to different events, it's just checking people where they're at, saying, good to see you, how are you? And then just being like, what's on your mind? And I think the more we share and interact, I think isolation is the enemy of creativity. And when we come together at events like this, it really... I almost want to be surprised. I don't want to have an agenda. I want to be surprised in a beautiful way by what came out of the experience.
I would agree with that.
This is it's a blissful morning. One final question. What do you got?
Oh,
for me? Yeah. I flipped it already.
What is the most exciting piece of work that you're seeing win the Lions? What's inspiring to you as a creative?
There's a lot of pieces of work that are inspiring to me as a creative. Too Many Dicks. Elf's statement on taking the data of the corporate boardroom and making a provocative stance, not an angry stance, but a provocative stance on why it's good to change and to bring in new leadership. I just think it hits me on intellectual level, on a fuck yeah level, and I get excited by work that's trying to change culture, not just make advertising for advertising's sake.
Yeah.
So I hope it gets acknowledged. We will see. Yeah, but this has been fantastic. Thank you all for joining us. Alison Weissbrot, executive editor of Adweek, signing off from Stagwell Sport Beach.
Bye.